You know, sometimes the most powerful stories aren't the loudest ones. They're the ones that are just whispered. And today, we're going to dive into one of those stories. It's about a young boy named Lou Ray, and it's a beautiful reminder of how a simple moment of connection can be a light in the darkest of times. So let's get into it.
Okay, so I want you to picture this. You're in a refugee camp, and it's just buzzing with life, right? There's noise, there's energy everywhere. But then, right in the middle of all that, there's a 10-year-old boy named Lou Ray, and his world has just gone completely quiet. He's kind of withdrawn into himself, like this little island of silence in a huge, bustling sea.
And his story really brings up a question that I think we've all faced at some point. When someone you care about just pulls away and gets lost in their own silence, what do you do? I mean, how do you even begin to bridge that gap? How do you show them they're not alone?
So to really get what's happening here, we have to understand the weight of Lou Ray's silence. Because it wasn't just one big thing. It was this collection of small, quiet changes that added up.
It's actually heartbreaking when you break it down. You know, he stopped playing soccer with his friends, the game he absolutely loved. The sparkle, the light in his eyes, it just started to dim. He described his heart as feeling covered in a thick fog. Imagine that. Just feeling completely trapped, with no way out. This was way more than just being sad. It was a deep, deep sense of hopelessness.
But even in that thick fog, a tiny flicker of light was about to break through. And what's so powerful is that it didn't start with some big, loud intervention. Nope. It started with something much quieter, the simple power of just being there.
And that brings us to Asa. She's a social worker at the camp, and while everyone else is caught up in the chaos of daily life, she sees him. She sees the small things others might have just walked right by. She noticed Lou Ray wasn't really eating, that he was pulling away from everyone. And it all started with that one crucial act of compassion. She just noticed.
And her approach, it was just beautifully simple. First, she just watched him, quietly, with no judgment at all. Then, she took note of those changes in his behavior, and only then did she approach him. And she did it so gently. No rushing, no demands. It's such a powerful lesson, right? A roadmap for how to genuinely be there for someone. All right, so this gentle approach leads us right to the turning point of the whole story. This is the exact moment where just watching, just observing, turns into a real connection.
And just look at what she does. She doesn't stand over him. She crouches down, getting right on his level, both physically and emotionally. There's no, you should do this, or any kind of criticism. By just closing that physical distance, she creates this little bubble of safety for him right in the middle of a really chaotic place. Her presence becomes a quiet invitation to open up.
And then she says these simple but absolutely perfect words. If you're ready to talk, I'm ready to listen. Wow, that line is just so powerful, isn't it? Because it does two crucial things at once. It puts absolutely zero pressure on Lou Ray, but at the same time, it offers him complete, unconditional support. It hands the control right back to him, something he probably felt he'd lost a long, long time ago. And that single, genuine offer to connect, that's all it took to start piercing through that thick fog. Right there, in that moment, a little star of hope was born. Just look at the transformation here. I mean, it's subtle, but it is so, so clear. On one side, you've got a boy who is just completely shut down, closed off from everything. And on the other, after his conversation with Asa, his eyes are open, he's looking up. Look, the sadness hasn't vanished, but you can tell something new is there with it.
Later that night, as Lou Ray was lying in bed, the sadness wasn't all gone. Of course not, right? That's just not how healing works. But, and this is the big thing, for the first time in what felt like forever, he felt a tiny spark inside him, a little flicker of something that wasn't just darkness.
And that is what this story calls starlight. It's not about swooping in and fixing all of someone's problems. It's simpler than that. It's the hope that's born from that incredible feeling of being truly, genuinely seen and heard by someone else.
So, when you boil it all down, this story shows us that you don't always need some grand, complicated solution to help someone who's struggling. Sometimes, the most powerful tools we have are also the simplest. A word that says, I get it, and a heart that's genuinely ready to listen.
And that really leaves us with one last thought to carry with us. I bet we can all think of someone in our own lives who might be feeling a little lost in their own fog right now. So the question really isn't just about Lou Ray's story anymore. It's about ours. Who in your life needs you to be the one who notices, the one who listens without judgment. Who needs you to be their starlight?